For more than half a year, something moved through our solar system that should not have been there. Not a comet, not an asteroid, and not anything that follows the rules we know. This story does not begin with speculation. It begins with observation. In the late 2010s, scientists tracking deep space objects noticed an intruder entering the outer limits of the solar system at an extreme velocity. The object was enormous, roughly 18 kilometers across, and it was moving at a speed between 140 and 150 kilometers per second. That alone was unusual. But what followed forced astronomers to reconsider everything they thought they understood about natural celestial bodies. According to German astronomer Stefan Goldschmidt, who at the time worked with NASA research teams, the object was first detected beyond the orbit of Pluto. It did not behave like debris drifting through space. It flew in with purpose, maintained a stable structure, and remained under continuous observation for nearly half a year. As it passed Pluto and headed toward Neptune, scientists assumed they were watching a rare interstellar visitor, perhaps similar to the mysterious object known as ʻOumuamua that passed through the solar system earlier. But the comparison did not last long. When the object approached Neptune, it slowed down. Its speed dropped to approximately 110 kilometers per second. Initially, researchers attributed this change to gravitational interaction with the planet. That explanation made sense. Under known physics, even with such deceleration, the object should have continued toward Uranus, and later most likely been captured or redirected by the massive gravitational fields of Saturn or Jupiter. That is the fate of countless bodies that wander into our planetary neighborhood. But that did not happen. Before reaching Uranus, the object abruptly changed course. It accelerated again and altered its trajectory so sharply that astronomers temporarily lost track of it entirely. This was the first moment when serious doubts emerged. Natural objects do not do this. Comets do not decide. Asteroids do not correct their paths. When the object was finally rediscovered, it was no longer where it should have been. It appeared inside the asteroid belt. Even more disturbing, it had slowed down dramatically. According to calculations, it had nearly stopped relative to surrounding bodies. It had passed the gravitational dominance of Saturn and Jupiter without being captured. And yet, halfway between Jupiter and Mars, it reduced its speed for no identifiable natural reason. There was no known force capable of producing that effect. Then, once again, it accelerated. The object turned back toward Jupiter, as if reconsidering its route. Astronomers watching this sequence realized they were no longer dealing with a simple anomaly. The motion suggested intent, purposeful navigation. And then came the most unsettling phase. Instead of approaching Earth directly, the object selected a trajectory that maximized its distance from our planet. It curved inward toward the Sun. After using Jupiter's gravity, it accelerated to roughly 180 kilometers per second. It executed a wide controlled arc, passing Mars, Earth, and Venus without close approach, and then slowed near Mercury. For nearly a full day, the object remained in the vicinity of the innermost planet. After that, it headed straight toward the Sun. According to Goldschmidt, NASA specialists attempted what is known as frequency monitoring. Using high-sensitivity instruments, they detected emissions that did not resemble natural radiation. The signal appeared structured and directional, transmitting outward, away from the solar system. In simple terms, something was sending data home. Goldschmidt states that this discovery convinced some researchers that the object was artificial. Not debris, not rock, but a probe. A reconnaissance device designed to study planets, orbital mechanics, and stellar environments, while reporting its findings to an unknown destination far beyond our star. The implications were profound. This was not the first time scientists had struggled to explain an interstellar visitor. Oumuamua had already raised uncomfortable questions. But this case was different. The scale, the maneuvers, the prolonged observation period, and the detected signal pushed the phenomenon beyond coincidence. What troubles many is not only the object itself, but the reaction to it. Goldschmidt argues that the scientific community is deeply reluctant to acknowledge the possibility of non-human intelligence, not because of a lack of evidence, but because of the consequences. Admitting that another civilization can observe us, study us, and pass through our system with ease changes humanity's position in the universe. We like to believe we are explorers, but this event suggests we may also be subjects of exploration. From a scientific perspective, the idea that humanity is alone in the cosmos is increasingly difficult to defend. We search the oceans for unknown life. We send probes to distant planets. We scan the skies for signals. Why would we assume we are the only ones doing this? The more unsettling question is not whether someone visited, but what conclusions they might have drawn. If an advanced intelligence observed Earth even from a distance, what would it see? A planet under stress, a civilization capable of extraordinary technology, yet struggling to preserve its own environment. Perhaps that explains why the object avoided Earth altogether. Perhaps the mission was observation, not contact. Or perhaps contact was considered and quietly rejected. The object never returned. It disappeared into the sun's glare, ending its journey without explanation. No official confirmation was ever issued. No press conference, no definitive denial, just silence. And silence in science can be louder than words. Whether this was an alien probe or a phenomenon beyond our current understanding remains officially unresolved. But one fact is undeniable. For months, something moved through our solar system, ignored gravitational rules, altered its course at will, and sent signals into deep space. If that does not challenge our assumptions about the universe, nothing will. And if someone out there was watching, the real mystery may not be why they came, but why they chose to leave without saying a word.